Welcome to Home Care Business Insights, your go-to resource for exploring the many aspects of running a successful home care business. Whether you're an industry pro, new entrepreneur, or just curious about the industry, this podcast offers strategies, tips, and solutions to help you succeed. While AI-generated voices host the episodes, the insights are real and designed with your growth in mind. Let's dive into what matters most in building a thriving home care business. Now let's hear from our AI hosts.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. You know, for countless veterans, the most complex mission they'll ever undertake, well, it isn't overseas.
No, not at all. It's right here at home.
It's that transition to civilian life. It's about finding a new focus, a new identity, and a place where all that rigorous training, those deep-seated core values can actually find fertile ground.
And that challenge, that's really what leads us to today's mission. We've been looking at analysis focused specifically on, the intersection of veterans and the home care franchise industry.
Right.
And our goal is to move past just saying they have leadership skills. We want to distill the specific structural reasons why veterans have this unique and powerful blend of skills that make them exceptionally successful at this.
It's about the mechanics of that skill transfer.
Exactly.
The mechanic, I think that's the key. We have to start with that foundational alignment because military service is, at its core, about service to a larger mission. That sense of duty doesn't just, evaporate when they take off the uniform.
It absolutely doesn't, and that's the powerful intrinsic motivator here. The core value of serving others aligns, perfectly with home care's whole mission.
Improving the quality of life for elderly and disabled adults.
Precisely. The sources we looked at emphasized that this commitment is truly ingrained in veterans. For them, running a home care business isn't just about the bottom line, it's a continuation of their duty.
It really shifts the business model from something transactional to something mission-driven. And that, frankly, has to translate into better client care.
It does. We even have Ian Kles, a VP at Caring Senior Service, who pointed out that this ingrained commitment is what drives veteran owners to consistently go above and beyond.
That makes a lot of sense. But beyond just the motivation, let's talk about the structural strength. Yeah. Running a franchise, especially in home care, is all about consistency. It's about following proven procedures.
And what is military life if not a strict adherence to procedure and protocol?
Right. Military Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, they're basically these highly complex life or death manuals.
So a franchise gives them a proven business plan, a huge operational manual, and veterans are just uniquely disciplined to follow it, no deviation. And in caregiving, that consistency is the cornerstone of trust.
That discipline, that structure, It just makes them kind of the perfect candidates for a franchise model. They don't have to reinvent the wheel.
They're already experts at executing a plan efficiently, reliably, and with precision. It doesn't matter if that plan involves logistics in a combat zone or, implementing new scheduling software for 20 caregivers.
Okay, but let me introduce a point of friction here. Leadership in the military, it's based on the command structure, right? Mm-hmm. You're often dealing with trained, highly motivated people. Mm-hmm. Home care, though, you're managing professional caregivers, often in a high turnover sector. Mm-hmm. So how does that military precision management pivot to the softer, more motivational leadership you need in civilian care?
That's a really crucial distinction, and the sources highlight this. Their effectiveness comes from translating their strategic management skills, not their command style.
Okay.
They're fantastic at delegation, at maintaining accountability, and critically leading teams under pressure. Clays mentions this, saying they bring a level of leadership and discipline that is unparalleled because they manage teams with precision.
So that precision isn't about barking orders.
No, it's about efficient scheduling, clear expectations for staff, good resource allocation, and ironically, that kind of stable, less chaotic organization can actually reduce caregiver turnover. They know how to build a team and define a clear mission.
Okay, that's where it gets really interesting. Moving from that structural discipline to the cognitive skills, specifically problem solving. Because home care is just inherently unpredictable.
It's a constantly dynamic environment. You're not just scheduling shifts. You're dealing with clients whose health can change in an instant, or logistical nightmares like transportation failing during a citywide emergency.
These you can't plan for.
Well, that's the thing. The military trains veterans to plan for them, to be critical thinkers, to assess a complex situation, strategize contingencies, and implement a solution fast, under duress.
Okay, so give us a practical example. How does that translate into, say, business survival?
All right, imagine a major snowstorm hits your service area. A non-veteran owner might, panic about staff who can't get to their shifts.
Right. Total chaos.
A veteran owner, though, is trained in what the military calls S3 operations contingency planning. They've likely already established tiers of backup transportation, priority care lists, and communication protocols.
So they're not reacting, they're executing a pre-existing plan.
Exactly. That ability to assess a crisis, strategize on the fly, and implement the solution immediately is just invaluable in home care. Delay can mean a real dip in quality of life for a client. They're trained to see the crisis not as an obstacle, but as a scenario.
They minimize the surprise factor.
That's a great way to put it. Now let's shift to the interpersonal strengths, which I think are often overlooked. The military is a globally deployed organization.
So veterans have experience with all sorts of different communities, different cultures.
And that exposure builds a natural cultural competency, a practical understanding of diversity. In home care, your clients come from every possible background.
So a veteran who has had to navigate cultural norms in another country is probably better equipped to handle, say, the specific dietary restrictions or religious observations of a client in Atlanta or Seattle.
For sure. That skill allows them to connect on a personal level faster, which is vital for building trust in long-term care.
And it goes even deeper, doesn't it? Many have a really profound firsthand empathy.
They do. Whether they received personal care themselves for service-related issues or supported fellow service members and their families, they understand the vulnerability that comes with needing help.
They know the stakes.
They really do. And that personal understanding motivates them beyond just, standard business metrics. They aren't just selling hours of care. They are ensuring dignity because they know what it's like to be dependent.
So we've covered the motivation, the operational discipline, the cognitive and empathetic skills.
Yeah.
But any business requires capital and community. What does that support ecosystem look like?
The support network is honestly one of the most powerful advantages they have. They are part of a strong, often lifelong community, and that provides crucial mentorship, business training, things that are really hard for a typical civilian entrepreneur to just find.
And this community, it's not just about camaraderie, right? It's a business engine.
It is. It's strategic. Leveraging those connections helps them build a robust referral network, which is the absolute lifeblood of marketing and home care.
So organizations like VFW, other support groups, they trust each other.
They do. And if a veteran owns a quality care service, that word spreads fast and it spreads reliably. It's a self-sustaining marketing advantage built on established trust.
And what about on the financial side? Starting a franchise costs money. Are there mechanisms to lower that barrier?
Absolutely. The Small Business Administration, the SBA, actively supports veteran-owned businesses. They have programs like the Veterans Business Outreach Center, or VBOC.
Okay, so there's mentorship and resources.
Yeah, and beyond that, the franchise industry itself recognizes the value veterans bring. So a lot of franchises offer pretty significant financial incentives. We saw the example of Caring Senior Service offering a 20% discount on their initial franchise fee.
That 20% is a huge, tangible benefit. But still, starting any business is a high-stakes move. Are veterans just better equipped psychologically to handle that early stress?
Yes. The military instills a level of perseverance and resilience that prepares them for those inevitable setbacks. They view risk assessment and calculated actions as just part of the job.
They don't get rattles easily.
Exactly. They understand success is rarely a straight line, and they don't often quit just because of some early friction.
So we've been building this framework, but let's tie it to a real-world application. Willie Giddens, an Army veteran and franchise owner in Atlanta.
Giddens is a perfect case study. He explicitly connects his military training, specifically his work in strategic planning, to his success. He talks about one instance where his operation faced this sudden, overwhelming logistical demand.
A bunch of new high-need clients all at once.
Right. And Giddens didn't panic. His military training and rapid mission analysis and resource deployment just kicked in.
So he didn't just hire more people.
No. He analyzed the operational flow, identified the bottlenecks using a strategy similar to what he learned in the Army's S3 operations, and he restructured his teams to maximize coverage under pressure.
Wow.
He confirms it. That attention to detail, the strategic planning, analyzing complex situations, those were all essential for building his team.
So what does this all mean? The analysis seems crystal clear. The transfer from military service to home care ownership, it's not just a viable path. It's a natural, almost symbiotic fit.
It really is. Veterans get a new mission that's driven by their core values, and the home care industry gets owners who bring this unparalleled blend of discipline, resilience, and genuine compassion.
And the entire home care sector is enriched by that. You get owners who are committed to quality and consistency, which is the exact opposite of that kind of transactional profit-first mentality. And this leaves us with a provocative thought for you, the listener, to mull over. If veterans excel by leveraging skills from these highly structured, high-stakes environments, critical problem solving, process adherence, team management, what other crucial civilian industries are missing out? Think about sectors that rely heavily on operational consistency and reliability. Things like logistics, infrastructure management, maybe complex project development. Are they overlooking the immense potential of veterans who are trained to follow a proven plan with surgical precision?
It's a really good question. Where else is that level of discipline needed most?
That's something to explore until our next deep dive.